ladies and germs. Welcome to Game 3 of the series between Atlas and EON. This is the second series of Group B in Infinity Gaming's Tournament League Finals. I am very happy to introduce, in the bottom right-hand corner of Whirlwind, a very awesome player, Infinity Gaming's EON. Meanwhile, on the upper right-hand side of Whirlwind, we've got a gentleman who's not as camouflaged as he was in the last game on Polar Night, sporting the teal, Infinity Gaming's Atlas.
Yeah, series tied here, Morris, 1-1. We saw EON pull ahead early in the series with some great Nidus and Roach Hydra play against Atlas's mech composition. And the game that we just played, EON got a little bold and proxied a hatch at Atlas's third, trying to get super aggressive with the little Roach play, but it kind of backfired in that he wasn't able to break the bunker wall with his Roaches, and shortly after Atlas discovered the proxy hatch there, he was able to push out with his bio army, crush it, and then from there, EON was just so far behind that all Atlas had to do was move out with some Marines and medevacs and close the game out.
Atlas is going to luck out here with an early scout, see the rally point going right to his opponent's base. About a little shortly after he gets that scout, though, an Overlord is going to make its way up to that upper right-hand corner. And they'll be even as far as scouting. Know where each other is.
Yeah, EON, definitely from the Dark Thorax school of scouting the wrong two bases first with your drone. It's pretty common, though, to send your drone to the opposite spot where your Overlord is going. Overlord, probably more important to get in position. So, all in all, there's not too much that you're going to see. If it's a CC first, you'll see it in the wall regardless. That is not the case for Atlas. He's got a gas coming down. Got the barracks. Pretty standard opening here. I expect to see pretty standard play out of Atlas coming through the beginning here. Hatchery goes down, and hatch first for EON, opting to play a little bit greedier, but definitely something you can do on a 4-player map of this size.
Now, Atlas's SCV is set on a very weird... I guess he was just trying to get it away, and then he's going to send it back to check for early thirds. A drone is on its way back for EON. Atlas did opt for 2 Marines first. We do have an SCV putting a bunker down on the low ground of the natural. So Atlas taking a defensive stance here in the early game.
Yeah, this bunker is pretty much conclusive evidence that Atlas wants to expand behind that. No add-on on the barracks yet. He's just opting for Marine expand or something like that here. So we should be seeing the command center go down as this SCV is rallied here to the natural, and so it looks like both players opting for a little bit more macro focused here in early game. Oh, this SCV's got to be careful. These Lings on creep are going to be able to catch him and maybe take him out. And the SCV goes down. First blood goes to one of EON's Lings.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. These Lings are going to make their way across the map. Going to get a little bit of scouting information, see what they can. Of course, we know that they're going to be interrupted by a bunker, but they may not know that until it's just too late.
Yeah, EON sees the bunker here with the Overlord. The bunker is a huge sign that expansion there. It's going to try to sneak the Lings in.
Ooh.
Doesn't quite get there. I think that was a little bit of a mistake from EON. All he really needs to do is poke his Overlord a little bit further forward. He'll be able to see that command center going down. That's why that Overlord is there. He's going to know as soon as they start mining here, he'll be able to see it.
Third goes down.
Yep, third coming from EON momentarily here. Good response to seeing Atlas being a little bit more econ focused.
Zerg is such a reactionary race. Tell me, Lorax, what was the hardest reaction that you ever had to make in ladder?
Hardest reaction I ever had to make?
You were just like, oh shit!
I often find myself baffled because, I mean, as you know, with like the lower leagues, sometimes you end up in these situations where you just see like bizarre compositions, or you scout one thing and then lots of other different things come out of your opponent, and so just reacting to those bizarre bizarre compositions is probably the hardest thing. We see Eon here has opted for 4 queens out, getting that creep spread pushed forward. He's got 3 tumors down already. Looking to connect up to this third as soon as possible and keep that creep spread going. As we know, creep spread's so important in ZVT, giving your units that extra mobility to just get those good surrounds and get good baneling connects on any bio that may be at your doorstep.
No, Mr. Overlord, no! Good Marine. That's a good Marine. It's a good boy.
Yep, unfortunately this Marine has the duty of running around in the Zerg base. He may have a fairly short lifespan, but perhaps he has good insurance. He's going to run headlong into these 2 queens, which are not going to be merciful. Down goes the Marine. Not too much scouting information there. I think Atlas can probably assume that there's a third up here, but he was not able to confirm it there with the Marine Scout. We've got 1-1 started here for Eon. Metabolic Boost is just finishing, so Lings are going to have their wings now and be able to get a little bit of map control. Good Overlord spread here by Eon. He sees the corner of the base starting to be mined, and he's also got a good visual here on the likely drop path between Atlas and him, so keep an eye on any drops that may be coming into the main. I'd like to see maybe a few more Overlords here. He's sort of missed his opportunity to get that other Overlord positioned up here by the main to poke in and see if he can get a little bit more scouting information. I'm sure that he would be able to do quite a bit with the knowledge that there's another command center going down behind this, as well as the double engineering base. That's usually an indication that the Terran player is not planning on attacking, and as we can see from the army, Atlas is quite content with his wall out with 2 siege tanks behind it and a bunker for the time being as he gets his composition. Doing a little bit of drop harass here in the main of Eon, but Eon mops it up pretty easily, sort of 2/3 full medevac, dropping in the other potential expansion area here for Eon. Gonna pick off an Overlord here. Every little bit helps. Marines.
Oh, he doesn't get it.
Does not get it. Good save. He's gonna lose a lot of Marines trying to do this. I don't know if I agree with that. And ironically, the Viking just comes in and cleans it all up. He's like, "Hey guys, you're having a little trouble there. Here, let me help you with that."
That was pretty comical.
I could have scripted that any better. How many Marines have to die while there's a Viking sitting right there that can kill it without any sort of hesitation?
You want me to kill this Overlord? This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gotta be a highlight reel right there. Several Marines dropped into a squad of Zerglings to their death as the Viking watches indignantly beside them. Lots of production here going down for Atlas. He's definitely going into a bio style. If you hadn't figured that out already, more barracks being added on. 1-1. Rounding out, about to finish here, we've got Stim already researched combat shield on the way, a third of the way done. Meanwhile, for Eon in his base, he's double expanded here. However, the Viking is going to scout this expansion here. Let's see, does he know about the... Does not know about the 5th base, but definitely knows about the 4th base. As for Eon's upgrades, he's got centrifugal hooks on the way. 2-2 is also coming, as well as the flyer carapace upgrade. Maybe to get a little bit more tenacity out of his mutas. Infestation pit going down, and it looks like Eon is getting ready to make his way up to Hive here.
Yeah, that infestation pit is definitely going to be a good tell. I hope Atlas gets a scan off sometime soon. I'm not sure if he's going to have a good idea. As the time goes on, this composition from the Zerg player is going to change, and he needs to keep a beat on that. Otherwise, I mean, something else to note, I just was looking at Eon's vision. He has very, very little knowledge indeed about what's going on the inside of Atlas's base, and these Lings going to get shoot out real quick.
Yeah, he sees the bio medevac composition here, so he's going to know that he's in pretty good shape. He's set up for the Langbane Muta, which is sort of the best unit composition to deal with this. Even though we have seen him, I have seen him play Roach Hydra against the bio composition. I don't think he has quite enough Lings and Banelings out. He's going to need to crank out 16 more Lings here in production as Atlas moves up, setting up a tank, going to clear out some of this creep here, and moving in, Eon not going to let him set up shop. I think this is a great idea. You don't want to let that Terran get set up, and you don't want your creep spread to be knocked back. Queen's coming out all the way to the edge here. I'd like to see them. There you go, dropping tumors. For those of you less experienced Zerg players, if they do come in and scan your creep, running your creep spreading queens out to the edge of the creep, dropping tumors there, great way to prevent that creep from receding and basically negating the little turn push. Muta's here hacking away at Atlas's third, down to half health about before it gets shooed away by these Marines. Nice little damage done there. Overseer poking in a little bit, getting some scouting information, and Atlas is moving out again here. So let's see, there's not much at home here for Eon. He's got a small pack of Lings. Currently no Banelings on the field to deal with this. He's going to need to get some Lings and Banelings off. All of those Zerglings being morphed into Banelings here. Like to see quite a few more Lings here. Atlas pushing through, clearing out tons of creep here, getting very dangerously deep into Zerg territory with 4 tanks.
All those Banes pop. Here comes a flank. Siege tanks are in, though! Oh, and all those Banes get cleaned up. These Mutas are going to fall.
Yeah, Mutas should not be engaging the Marines. They have to push back here, but there's not much left. Atlas has got his siege tanks in a great position here between the bases. Any reinforcements coming from the 3rd or 4th are just going to run right into the siege tank, while Atlas moving into the natural here. Siege tanks following suit, getting sieged up. This is going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for Eon to work his way out of. The parade of units streaming across the mini-map here. The natural falls, all the drones from the natural are gone. Marines already up in the main, working their way through. It's 167 supply to 103 in favor of Atlas and his Marines here. This push has proven a little bit too much for Eon to defend.
Now, I've got to ask, do you think Eon was too greedy? I mean, we see only 62 workers, though, on the map for Eon, even after this push, but
I think Eon was just unprepared for Atlas to push out this aggressively, and I think it's a great read by Atlas, sort of knowing that there's some cute Muta play and harass going on, but Eon just did not have the Lings behind here. You need to have Lings and Banelings ready to shut down a push like this before it gets this deep into your base. I mean, this is just not going to do it. He's having to rebuild his spawning pool, and all the while the Parade of Death is just coming down from Atlas here. Siege tanks sieged up so many Marines. This is impossible for Mutas to engage. They're going to try anyway, but they're not going to be successful. All the Mutas falling, and
GG!
From Eon.
So Atlas is going to move his way up. It is going to be Atlas versus Daniel in our